Thank you to our sponsor, EJ Cards, a small but motivated company specializing in cards. EJ Cards believe passionately in great bargains and excellent service, which is why they commit themselves to give you the best of both. If you're looking for something new, you're in the right place. EJ Cards strive to be industrious and innovative, offering customers something they want, putting their desires at the top of the priority list. Find EJ Cards at www.ejcards.com.au or shop 394 to 398 Middleborough Road, Blackburn, Victoria, and also find them on Facebook. Thank you very much, EJ Cards, for sponsoring us.
Welcome everybody to a special 59th Christmas episode of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam Amy. Very festive, Adam Amy, by the way.
Very festive.
On the YouTube.
Very festive.
Joined, as always, by Russell Gibson.
Hey, buddy.
Not as festive.
Not festive.
No, didn't go.
I don't like Christmas carols and I don't like ugly Christmas tops, Ad.
I'll let you in on a little secret. Not really a little secret. We went and took the dogs for a family photo in these clothes. So you'll be getting a Christmas card from our family to yours. Look, we just wanted to put another episode out just in case we didn't get round to doing anything over the holidays. Rather than comping stuff, this is really my crazy little Christmas idea of all of the holiday television I've ever watched when they get round and they recap the year that was. A few flashbacks, a few memories. We don't have the technology to play clips from previous episodes, and I clearly don't do enough homework. So this is all being done on the fly.
I mean, we probably
could.
Yeah.
Or I could spend Christmas not doing that. Not that I wouldn't want to, but I can imagine it would take me a lot longer than, say, a day of editing, finding back the memories. But yeah. I did bring up the Spotify to recap, I guess, some of the episodes that we went through this year. Quite a lot of them. I don't know. We started off the year with a friend locally, Charlie from Cherry.
Yeah,
that was nice. It was nice to get someone from one of the big stores on to just chat about things.
Yeah,
that was definitely, and we've definitely got to do a follow up. Don't know if we do it with Charlie, and don't think we get Grayson. What do you think?
I would actually like to do it with Dale or one of the lads that do the breaks.
Okay, yeah, I got my eye on Dale. I reckon Dale would be an interesting.
Yeah.
An interesting guest.
If you want to listen to Grayson, you just go onto their podcast feed and listen to them, right?
Like, we could just try and hijack their pod one day. That would be.
I don't think they want us on there, man.
Look, the guests followed very quickly. We had Lane on from 1:30 Point.
Yeah.
I forget some of this stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, we had Lane on as well.
Yeah.
Start of the year, it was. I think we're off to a pretty positive start this year. We put out a lot of content. What do you remember for early in the year?
I think probably my moments that come to my mind straight away is the Brian Forsman one. I think that was really enjoyable for me. And I'd probably also say too, actually something I wanted to do for a long time, like just do something with Brian, because it's just the way I'd interacted with him so many times in breaks. And then, you interact with that person, but at the same time, it's also a distant interaction. So sort of having that more immediate thing, that was really, really nice. And then actually now I sort of look back at it, and when I had in my mind when I was building the podcast, what did I want it to be like? I wanted just regular collectors to come on.
Yep.
And I still think we do need to do more of that. But I think the Fruja episode was really good because...
Oh, that was so much fun. That was fun.
Yeah, but also too, I just feel like I learned so much from that guy too, because he's like someone who's just down in the dirt, down in the trenches every day, just digging, chipping away, hustling his little tail off,
Yeah. And I was going to say, anyone that hasn't listened to the Forsman episode, it's episode number 22.
Thank you.
Get back and check that one out.
Yeah.
If where are we? Faruja. We had Matthew Yuga. I remember that. I've got that one. Where are we? Luca.
And the Fruja one actually created its own hashtag, like the Fruja factor, you know? So I think
that's the
how
first
many
time we really got a
episodes
catchphrase out of
an episode, yeah. It doesn't
yeah.
happen that often, so
No.
and then the last one was Mike Geo. I think having Geo on was
I don't think there is any question that our favorite episode for the year was Mike Geo
just my
from Sports
anticipation
Card.
for that episode. Most of the times we agree to pod, okay, we're podding at
Yep.
8:00, whatever. I'm not too fussed about it. It's in my calendar. Whereas
Yep.
I feel like when Geo was coming on, was like it was on my mind for sort of 2 or 3 days straight.
Yep.
Before I
So
sort of sat
yeah.
down, I was like, I had a bit of that nervous energy happening. So I think that was
No,
that
that
was
was good.
significant. Yeah.
Look, and this is where we get to like dissect. I felt, I don't know, it was this weird sense, like feeling when Mike sort of was giving us that positive feedback, like about the show, and I was like, I think we've actually created something quite good.
Sure. Yeah.
With our content, and to get recognition from literally one of the greats in the space was really humbling and a lot of fun. But I'm going to recap people just
my analogy on that is like when a massive band references some tiny little metal band and they're like, oh, this is the metal band that I listen to. I feel like we're the tiny little metal band that Mike Geo listens to. That's my like.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I remember, and then we've got, so what was that for? We've got, well, Mike Geo was episode 53.
Sure.
Very recent. If we go back to episode,
it's actually very recent. It feels
episode 42 was Josh.
Yeah.
Faruja, which was cool. We've had Matthew Yuga on a couple of times.
Yeah, we need to get Yuga back on. He is one of the brighter minds, I think, in the sort of card/social media space. And in terms of him being a polished presenter, he's actually got 3 things hammered down quite well. So yeah, definitely.
Away from polished presenters, my most fun and chill episode, I think, would have been, and I'm just doing back because I'm going through Spotify. I remember it. My memory's terrible. Episode 39, the Codex guys from across the pond.
Oh, yeah.
The guys from New Zealand. That was awesome.
Any more chilled, they'd be lying down.
That was so good. It was just a really laid back, chilled out chat.
Yeah.
And then there was Raymond Lee, episode 37.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. Interesting? Is that what we're going to go with? Interesting?
Look,
insightful.
I think the reason that episode was good is because it was news that was relevant to our community in real time. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That dropped, and then we had him on the show like the following week, and I think that was very good. And I think our objectives were to not nail that guy to the board.
Has anyone told him that that Winston's looking to sell the DNF page?
I think Winston would sell to anyone at this point. So
cents on the dollar.
And he actually came on and discussed things in a very sensible way.
I think, very straight down the line.
Yeah,
that was.
And
he
seems like a smart dude. Like, I'm sure he's going to go really far in life. So
yeah, that was was really cool.
So our top episodes all time is Fruge is actually number 1 at 311 downloads. Our first episode is second. Mike Geo is third. Raymond Lee is next, and then just a random episode where we talked about backyard breaks is the next most famous episode.
Backyard breaks, there we go.
Yeah.
Wow. So episode 1. Well, I guess it is a big hitting. Everyone that picks up at some point goes back and listens to where it all began.
Well, I wonder if that's how the feeds roll through. Like if your feed goes through at 1 first or 50 something first, whichever way.
That's true. That's true. It's just interesting. God, Jersey Fusion, episode 5. Sorry, that's right. The one with Lane was a 2-parter.
Yeah, we spoke to him for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, That's what we can do. I'm gonna comp this now. So looking through this, the V Friends.
Okay.
V Friends.
What are we comping at the moment?
I want a box of the V Friends cards.
Sure. You better buy yourself a box for Christmas, I reckon, pretty cheap.
There's more than one series? Series 1 box.
I'm actually shocked. So if we're looking at the same thing, it last sold for 3,450 USD.
The hell? I mean, we're not really going to comp a whole lot today. We're just sort of going to go through.
Look, you said to me off air, don't comp, and you were the first person to jump into comps. I just want to point that out, mate.
I saw V Friends. I saw V Friends, and I couldn't help myself. But since we're doing Christmas, since we're in a festive mood,
absolutely,
shall we do a festive Zion watch? Just a reflection on Zion.
We really should have done Zion watch in the last episode.
Yeah, but this just gives everybody a reason to listen to the Christmas episode. So now we actually do Zion watch here. I'm impressed by the Pelicans, who at time of recording are number 1 in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and handed Phoenix their fannies in a bag twice in a row, including an absolutely delicious windmill 360 extravaganza. Look,
that was an exclamation point to end all exclamation points.
The more time goes past, the more I really enjoy that dunk. I'm all aboard this kid.
Now, look, the looking at the silvers, I went straight to silver PSA 10.
Yeah, talk to me.
Last sold for 1,150.
Yeah,
that's actually down 25%.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
Do you think people aren't convinced?
Look, so this is my theory on this guy. I think that a lot of people that came in and bought Zion Williamson aren't particularly card connoisseurs. They're someone that was told by their mate, hey,
buy Zion.
You can buy basketball cards and you can make money off it, right? So I wonder if those same people aren't coming back in, and or there's just a lot of caution sort of in that space.
Yeah.
And I think, you've spoken about this. Maybe this is just what the true price should be. Like, this is the correct price for what it should be. But let's just comp this for 2 seconds, though. That's $100 more than what Jordan Poole was selling for at his peak. Like, when you say it like that Jordan Poole sale is one of the most ridiculous things that's happened. And we spoke about this, this stupid peak that we had. That was post-peak,
Yeah, true. So it's interesting. I guess interesting is probably the right word. Comparing, but yeah, Jordan Poole was a freak spike. I think Zion's just going to continue to creep up.
But he's on a 25% downward trend at the moment.
Yeah, but he's recovering. Well, the last month, we'll go 3 months. We change it to 1 month.
Yeah, sure. Go to 1 month. Yeah, sure.
All right. So 1 month he's down 7%.
Yeah.
But from
it looks upward trending. I agree with you.
From the 20th of November.
Yeah.
It's been constantly. It's been on that rise.
Yeah.
877, 920, 910, 920.
Yeah. So if you bought it at 870, you've done pretty well, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you got it at that 870 a month ago, probably. But yeah, over the last 2 weeks, he's up 24%.
So is this a buy, hold, or a sell for you, Ed?
I'm still in buy range. I think for silvers, who do you comp Zion to? Am I putting you on the spot now?
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. It's an interesting comp. What about modern day? What about ultra modern? He's not a Giannis.
Definitely not. He's the anti-Giannis. What's wrong with Charles Barkley, by the way?
I just don't know if he's comparable as far as the diverse range of cards.
Okay.
But like, is he a Luka level buy?
I think the market is a lot stronger around Luka for the fact that his offensive numbers are just off the charts. And I think I've said this before. I actually think Luka's got a body that's been basically built to last. I think he's going to be very durable.
So
whereas Zion, you're always just wondering when his knee's going to pop, right?
Yeah, true. And that look, buyer confidence is probably like a big factor. Consumers.
And Zion bangs too. It's not like he just stands on the perimeter and shoots threes. Like he hurts people.
Yeah, exactly. Like he is a very physical player.
Yeah.
And the Charles Barkley 1986 Fleer PSA 10, last sold 7,500. Is that a comp for the Silver Prism?
So if we had someone, I'm I'm excluding you from this conversation right now. If we had someone on Smarter that could work out the numbers, so the pop count on the PSA 10 Barkley is 236. The pop count on the Silver Zion is 1,565. So if you could work out like a price ratio between the two, and look, I would say roughly they're still using that sort of rough ratio. I think there's still a little bit of room, left in the Zion if you want to use those two as a comp. And that's comping. Barkley was also injury riddled. Like he wasn't, without injury in his career.
And he didn't win a chip.
And he also didn't win a chip. So if we're, staying with that, well, okay, so you say yes, the Zion's still got a little bit more room to move.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely think Zion, a healthy Zion, is A, good for the league, and B, good for the hobby. I think there's a lot of them floating around there, but they're going to be the low pop cards. I still don't think base is where you go. Once a card passes over 20,000 copies of a PSA 10, yeah.
Yeah, that's really tricky, isn't it? And I suppose
Do you know what you would want in a base? You know the only thing I would want in a Zion base? A BGS 10 black label. Pop count of 28.
28? That's amazing.
That's a lot of black labels.
That's also, it represents how many cards have been subbed though too. So they say that a black label is like 0.1%.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But there's no way I'm taking $15,000 out of my account and paying that for a base card. There is, like, look, all power to the people that did that. I've got a lot of respect for you, but for me, you can spend $15K on some juicy stuff.
Pop count of 696, BGS 10, not black, gold, just a normal, 482 versus PSA 10, 149. That's for the base. Interesting.
See, like, my thing about this is that if you really, really want to get into a Zion and this is your price point, I actually don't have a problem with you buying this stuff now because, like, it's all come down so much. So for me, I feel like the risk profile is diminished because of how much it's dropped, and also the fact that at the moment he's currently healthy. So if this is who you want to actually collect and you want to buy it, I'm not going to criticize you. But in saying that, so if you can have a BGS 10 Zion base card, or you could have 10 silver Halliburtons, I'm just following on from last week's episode. I would probably say that 10 Halliburtons is a better outlay than one base Zion at the moment.
I'd go with that. I'd definitely get on board with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say with Zion if there's anything that I think you can capitalize on. All right, so current price, last sold for a red to 299 Zion rookie.
Yeah, talk to me.
PSA 10, 1,795 US.
Yeah, okay.
Number to 299. That's pretty tasty.
Those reds look really good too. They pop.
Right. You ready for relativity on that?
Say the percentage that it's down though at the moment.
It's down, like, it's insane, isn't it? Hang on.
46%.
Down 46%. So $3,500 a month ago. 3 months ago, sorry.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Right. So that card is numbered to 299. The red's 299. Last sold for $1,795. Now, if I were to tell you that the blue to 199, so there's 100 less copies of this one, last sold for $8,200.
Okay.
I would say there is a glaring discrepancy and that the reds might be worth something.
Interesting.
So if you can pick yourself up a red, pop count of 33, so it's not very different to the 199. Yeah, I think that's that might be a spot in the market somewhere. Blue Ice, 10K, makes sense. Number to 99. Yeah, look, actually, they're all down a little bit.
I prefer the straight blue and the straight red to the cracked though. Like, yeah. I know it's a lower numbered card, but in terms of the aesthetics of it, I prefer the straight colors, and I really like the pulsars. I think they look really good when you put them on display.
Yeah. Cool. That's So what do you think? With Zion in his current form? Where are you at?
I'm a little bit surprised that he's down. That's the thing that has really got me sort of scratching my head.
What do you think the reason for him being down is? Do you think it's market related? Do you think it's people have gone off the boil? There are too many cards? Are there too many factors?
Look, I think the market across the board is cooling off, and
Mm.
so sealed prices are sliding down even more. So I was picking up some sealed for what I thought was amazing prices, and I bought up 5 boxes of Select Hobby, and then since I've landed it into Australia, actually, like it's gone down even more. So
Wow.
you know, I think that's just a good representation of, where the
Mm.
economy is at the moment. You could also
Yep.
argue too, it's a little bit, it's Christmas time. People want to buy presents instead of basketball cards, which is
True.
reasonable.
Yep.
But I think in particular for Zion, my theory that I'm going to stick with is that, yeah, it was sort of more investors outside of cards that were coming in, and buying up a big dog, and
Yeah.
have probably gotten a bit, bit by this guy, like losing as much as they did. I mean, because when you look at this stuff, like it's staggering. I'm looking at the pink ice at the moment. So in the last 3 months, that's down 56% too. The real dollar change on that is $600. Like it's
Mm.
not a small amount of money. I can understand why people would be feeling a bit dubious of jumping back in the market.
Yeah, it's tough. It's an interesting one. It's I don't know. I think Zion in particular. It's a surprise that it's on the decline.
Yeah,
But
I'm really surprised,
I mean,
particularly how well he's playing.
where he's playing phenomenal basketball at the moment, and I think people are waiting with Zion because they're concerned.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
fine.
which makes sense. It makes sense, but I definitely think there'll be an opportunity to to get in, and I think maybe it's buy time on Zion still. So if you're looking for one of those cards, as I said, the red if you've got the money to 299 seems like good value. And Silver Prism still isn't out of the realm of crazy.
Yeah, well, a 9 is selling for 277.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe the Zion train is alive and well.
It's tempting, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's interesting.
What else you got on the run sheet, Ed?
The run sheet. I would say this is why I wanted to do it as a 12 days of Christmas because we could have counted back from 12 to 1, and I'd know when we were done.
We can
I
still
think,
do that if you want.
yeah. I mean, like, what have we got? I mean, obviously, I thank the sponsors. We've had some amazing listeners on the show. Um, and look, obviously, we're not doing this one live, and we really love hanging out after the show, going live on Facebook, interacting with everyone. It's been fantastic just to see. I think this is more of a general reflection and a shout out to say thank you to
Yeah,
the
definitely. I
community that's
agree.
grown
Yeah.
on Twitter. By the way, everyone hassle our friend, the card collector guru. What is his name?
Eric.
Eric. Hashtag pocket change to him as well. Go on the show. Just like you go on, you can't comp this. That's that. Yeah, like I think our community is getting very strong. We don't need to really suggest a lot these days on Facebook. We've actually got a lot of regular listeners that get out there and share content.
Who are
Um,
driving content.
driving the content. Andrew
Yeah.
Dean, I have to say a big thank you to
Yeah.
because I've been getting images for Pocket Change, which didn't involve an ashtray. Thank you very much, Russell. Jeez.
Shocking. What type of health
um,
professional am I?
but but it's just really nice to have a community of people in the hobby that are all getting along so well. We haven't had to really moderate or censor anybody. Everybody's been super chill. It's been
I
great.
I don't actually think I've moderated anything. Have you?
No, nothing. Nothing. I don't think anyone said anything out of line. I think everyone's been is super respectful. And it's a really a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I look forward to our time every week where we can just have a chat about basketball cards and the fact that we have a platform to do that. We have a community that enjoys it.
Yeah.
It's really like I know we said back at Thanksgiving we were saying things we were thankful for, but like it's that time of the year, and the reason I want to do something like this is Christmas is about that getting together with loved ones and our audience and each other. Like this is something that's really special to me. So
I see where you're going with this, Ed.
yeah,
That's very
so
nice, Ed.
I just
Thank
want
you.
Yeah, and I kind of want everybody to sort of listen to our fluff, our fluff episode
Yeah,
while they're watching the Christmas Day games or drive that lovely little drive up to visit family, and
yeah,
that we can be there with everyone.
yeah. I
So,
see where you're going with that.
and yeah, I didn't really want this to be a huge long episode. I just wanted to sort of say, yeah, thank you to everybody. Thanks for an amazing year.
Yeah,
And yeah, next year I'm going to pull my finger out and get on the. I've been saying it for a couple of weeks, and we talked about it. I'm going to try TikTok, and I'm gonna try TikTok. But I will upload all the YouTube episodes. And yeah, maybe we get a bit more traffic into the YouTube. Yeah,
yeah. Look, so I
spread the
mean,
word.
my thought about that is there's a few things that we said we were going to do this year that we haven't done,
Yeah,
and I suppose there's two ways to look at it. You can say, well, you haven't done these things, or you can say, well, think about all the things we have done. And I think actually we've actually done quite a lot.
The have done's. Like when we got Brian Forsman on, I'm like, we've got an international guest. That's great.
Yeah,
And then like we went bigger.
yeah, and then
I mean, we
also
can't go
too.
bigger than that until we get Jesse
And
on.
this is
But
not an excuse, but this is also reality.
yeah,
Like being pragmatic, we both have jobs. We
yes,
both have families. Like,
yeah, yeah.
so
These things happen,
yeah,
right?
like,
Yeah.
I think we're actually achieved, like, done pretty well. So
Look, with the way the real world works, I'm surprised that we got to 50 episodes
yeah,
before. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely.
we had our 1 year anniversaries at the start of December. Yet 50 episodes. Like there were a couple of double episode weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
So to be able to make that commitment to be
yeah,
there every week, and if we're not on the Sunday, we're organizing and planning, and you've really stepped up like when I was in hospital. If I'm not available, if you're not available, we really try to
yeah.
work it
We
out.
work it out. Yeah.
I'm due to do a solo episode, so that was my practicing while you went and changed Eddie. Uh,
He wanted a dwink.
a dwink,
Daddy.
He wants a dwink.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so I'm going to nerd out a little bit on some stats here. So this is from
Nice.
Card Ladder's indexes,
Yes.
and it's all real time data that just feeds back into this. So NBA is down. I just had it right in front of me. 15.96% or 16% it's down.
Jeez.
Tennis is down 27% and golf is down nearly 35%, which is a really interesting one because I wouldn't have thought that golf would peak and trough that much because it's sort of what in my mind I would consider it to be such sort of a niche, collecting.
Very stable.
Yeah. NFL's down nearly 15%. Ultra Modern is down 16.23%. That's interesting. Vintage is down 7%, and Modern is down 15%.
Okay. Interesting.
What do you think soccer's down, considering the World Cup's on?
So you confirm it is down?
It's down.
20%.
It's down 13.5%.
It's still down quite a bit. I don't know.
That's an interesting one because I wonder if people are sort of waiting for the World Cup to sell, and then, there's just been an absolute flood, but
I actually think it's all economic. Like, I don't think the hobby's in trouble. I just think the economies are struggling.
Across the board, yeah.
Global
Racing
economies
is down 14%.
Yep, it's interesting.
Mm.
It's that's not a happy note to go out on.
Oh, not at all. I more just think it's just
I think things are gonna there's gonna be dips. There's gonna be, but things are definitely. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity out there at times like these.
Yeah.
When the market's down, it's time to buy.
I'm more interested. I'm more looking at this from a point of interest. I'm just trying to add some stats for the stats nerds because I think it's tough to go through a whole episode of all love. I think we need some like hardcore stats ad. All right, so I've gone to the index data for LeBron James. He's actually down 30%, and if you look at his graph, it's actually down in steps. So,
all right,
in October he took a step down. And then in November, he took a very steep step down. And then he sort of just like chugged along from there. Really interesting. His Topps Chrome, it looks like the refractor. Yep, the refractor. BGS 9 is down 33%.
Jesus.
And going back to the last episode, I was talking to you about like prospecting better prospects, not just prospecting like G Leaguer dudes, which I enjoy to do, but at the same time, I need to sort of get my head around. Like, this is the type of stuff I want to start. Like, not this card specifically. Like, this is pretty high end, but this is the type of stuff where I'm like, okay, one of the big dogs on his biggest card, on the one that everyone collects, is down 33%. Like, is this what I need to start, hunting and getting my head around,
It's very interesting, actually.
Like, that's pretty delicious,
well,
man.
when you said LeBron, I'm looking at Kobe, and Kobe overall at the moment's down big, down 25%.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're still in market correction mode for a lot of it. So
this is a good one. The 2020 Prism, the tribute Kobe dunk.
Yes.
This is the orange ice that I'm looking at. So that has fluctuated. I'm going to disregard that sale, but there's one sale there for $14.44. If you chop that out, the lowest is 121, and that fluctuated up to 285 in 3 months. So
fair income.
That's that's actually quite fun, because you could almost like play the market on that. So between 121 and 280, and then it flicked back up to 255. So
LeBron's down 30%.
Yeah. So how they do that, I don't have my head fully around it, but they pick 20 of his important
best
cards and then they index those. They don't index every single one.
Yeah. Yeah. Luka's down 17. Huh.
All right, let's finish this. Do you want to do one more, but we'll finish it on a positive one?
A positive?
Let's find a plus.
Tyrese Maxey.
Is he up? Oh yeah, he is up. How can Maxey be up? How can Maxey? He hasn't played.
Oh, I don't know. It's hilarious. It's just like he's up. Tyrese Maxey is up.
That's actually really interesting, because when you go onto his silver PSA 10, the last 3 months he's actually down, but overall he must be still up.
That is insane.
So over 2 weeks he's up. Over a month he's down.
All right. So do we want to try and go out in a high player wise, or do we want to?
We can finish with Tyrese Maxey. This is a fun one to finish on, man.
I like it. Tyrese Maxey.
There's a buzz around this kid. Let's do Maxey and then we'll tie off. How does that sound?
That sounds delicious. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Talk to me.
Tyrese Maxey. I don't think I own. I might own a couple of cards. I'm going to drill down. Come on. So what are we looking at? Where's the real money? Downtown Tyrese Maxey. Raw. No, it's not up. No, the downtown's not up. Why is it? I reckon something's wrong with the data.
I mean, anything's possible. Anyway, let's finish with Maxey. This is a fun one.
Tyrese Maxey overall up 16%. No, is it? Up 60%. Starting value 174. Current value. Starting index value 174. Current index value of 277. So he's up 59% out of 26 cards. Up. Maxey to the max. I can't find any solid data to back this up though.
All right. So for me, the question is, Maxey's been out for a little bit, and the 76ers have been an interesting team to watch, because they've had guys come off their bench who you probably didn't expect them to play well, and they've played like really, really well. Like, they've played some really good basketball. So DeAnthony Melton has played well for them, and the other guy that's Shake Milton. So he has just been absolutely shooting just fireballs, and to the point that he's been shooting so well, I feel like they should have been getting the ball to Embiid every single time down the floor, but because he was shooting so well, they didn't do it, and it didn't seem so ridiculous. But they've actually survived with that Maxey, and I mean, Harden's back now, but even with Maxey and also Harden out, they still won some games.
Still survived, It's interesting.
Yeah. So I think for me, where I sit with Maxey is, let's just go back one episode. So we comped Halliburton and we comped SGA.
Yeah.
And the way that this guy's prices are, he's higher than Halliburton, and he's probably a little bit less than SGA.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's still ballpark. So I can almost justify the sentence in my head to say, well, if I had Maxey, would I sell that and buy SGA? And I think I probably would, just because, again, we sort of spoke about this last week in terms of, who's got the highest ceiling between Halliburton and SGA. And I'm going to hold that point with SGA, but I would also say he's also got a higher ceiling than Maxey too. So,
yeah,
I mean, at the moment,
But silver, if I can pick up a silver for $25, say,
I don't think that's a bad purchase at all. And
yeah,
also too, so if you're getting a raw for $25 and then a PSA 10 for 330,
yeah, it's
like
10xing your card
yeah,
or 12xing your card.
let's just call it 10 because by the time you have shipping and all the rest of it, I think that's fine. But even still,
Yeah.
like that's actually a very metered play and it actually makes sense.
Yep.
And when was the last time that we said sending a card to PSA was actually going to make you money? Like I think
Yeah.
it's been so expensive to grade cards the last sort of 12, 18 months. And then, the
Mm.
returns haven't been there, but that's a very clear path to
I think
making a calculated play.
So you know what? All right, so we're gonna tie this all up in a nice, neat little bow.
Yeah.
When we get back, we've got to get Matthew Yuga back on the show. We're
Yeah,
going
let's
to
get
talk
Yuga
about
back on.
is now the time, and I think the big question, the big narrative is now the time to start grading stuff on the dip.
Well, the thing about that is that when they insure the card and then upcharge you for it, if appropriate, they go on current comps.
Mm.
So there's a very good argument to be made that now is a good time to send your cards into PSA because,
Yeah,
comps are down a little bit.
comps are down. Yeah,
The only thing is I don't see at the moment any current specials. So what I mean by
yeah,
that is like a while back when they had the
bulk
nationals.
subs or
Yeah, when they
yeah.
had the national special, that was $30 a sub.
Well, maybe we
Whereas,
get Khalil out and see
well,
if we can.
I actually checked Khalil's prices.
That's someone we didn't mention as well. We had Khalil on the show a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, I think the economy sub at the moment is $60 or $65. So,
Okay,
do you know what I mean? Like,
it's not. Yeah,
if there was a $30 sub at the moment, I'd be saying, that's
there
get
was
as
a
many silvers
Christmas.
as you can and get them
Yeah,
off. Like, let's go. Yeah.
yeah. Interesting.
Alrighty,
Oh,
Ed. Thank you
that
so
was
much.
thank you. Thanks to all the listeners. If you haven't made it to your destination, we're sorry. This is going to be a quick hitter. But yes, drive safe, travel safe,
Yeah. Have
enjoy
a great
time with your
Christmas.
families.
Yep.
Enjoy the Christmas Day games on Boxing Day because we're in Australia, but whatever. Yeah, have a safe holidays, and we'll see you in the new year.
Thanks, Ad. Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
guys. Merry Christmas.